There was a time a few years ago where we literally could not see the floor in some areas of our home. We were slowly on our way to becoming hoarders, and not because we wanted to, but we just had such a hard time letting go of things. The old keepsakes, the baby's first pajamas, clothes that we no longer even fit into. But then when we finally hit our breaking point and our daughter's bedroom was just absolute chaos, we finally began to declutter our home. And eventually we achieved the look that we loved, but oddly enough, others didn't see it the same way. They would tell us sarcastically, "Your house looks barely lived in, it looks like a clinical setting or a hospital. Did you all just move in?" When we first started hearing this, it kind of made us question, are we even doing this right? Are we going too far with decluttering? And we started to think maybe we need to bring some more stuff back into our home, maybe some more decorations or something. But then it finally hit us. This is our house. The whole point of us pursuing this lifestyle was for us to have more peace in our home and allow us to spend less time worrying about stuff and more time focused on us, our family. So we definitely don't need to care about what others think about our home. But aside from our new confidence of not feeling worried about everyone's opinions, there are actually some real practical reasons why we love this look.
One of the reasons is it creates a lot more space in our home and allows us to feel like we can breathe. We had so many tight areas in our little apartment, like coffee tables and end tables added to that. And we thought that we needed those things because everyone had those things and they were trendy. But then we also had kids and realized that, first of all, we don't need to have those just because everyone else does. Second, they were really cluttering the space. And third, it makes it really hard with kids because they like to pull on them, climb on things. So we just eliminated them.
And once we started to see how our space looked and the way that it felt, it didn't feel sad and it didn't feel like it wasn't homey at all. It felt the exact opposite,
yeah,
I think.
It felt more homey to me.
Right. And we would walk inside the house or we'd just sit down and, even though you didn't see a bunch of stuff, it felt like home for us. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that we didn't have, even when we had all the decor and everything.
Right.
One of the other reasons why we really love this look and feel like it's practical is because it lessens the amount of time it takes to reset our space and to just clean up the house. As a family of 5 now, our life is centered around the routines of our kids. So cooking, playing with them, feeding them, then, getting them ready for going out or just, getting them ready for bed. Right. And so our house gets messy often throughout the day, and then to spend so much time trying to clean up, it really has allowed us to not have to spend so much time doing all that resetting. It just makes it so much easier. And so having a space that is minimal and easy to reset has been the reason why we've really pursued this. And like we always say, being minimalist doesn't mean that you're going to be perfectly clean and perfectly tidy, but being minimal just lets you reset your space and get it back to that peaceful state so much easier.
Having our house this way has definitely made my life easier as a stay-at-home mom. I do feel that the more things that you have, the more things you have to maintain. And the same could be said with kids. So, now we have 3 kids, and although I do believe you can have nice things when you have children, it does make it a little bit harder when you're constantly on guard trying to make sure your children don't climb on this or knock this over or pull up on that. And we have 3 children with, different ages. So our baby is now starting to be able to sit up and hold on to things. And then we have our 3-year-old who just turned 3 who loves to climb on everything. And then we have our 4-year-old who likes to jump off of things. So it's like they're all in these little kid stages where anything that is a flat surface becomes like some type of jungle gym. So eliminating those things gave them space to run around and to just be kids, but also gave me peace of mind as a stay-at-home mom that I don't have to constantly be making sure they're not doing something that's going to get them injured, because we know that they love danger. So that is a huge benefit. And also when it comes to cleanliness, as he was saying, you have to take care of these things. So you have to dust these things and move these things and clean them. And with anything you have to make sure that you maintain it if you want it to look nice and if you want it to last long. So for me, it's just not worth it. I used to say it's not worth it in this season of life with kids, but this is how I like things so much so that even when the kids are older, I can never imagine myself going back to having so many things, so much clutter. I thought that I had to fill all of the empty spaces in a home, but you don't. Like, it just gives me so much freedom and room to just be.
With us being able to create a space that gives us more peace and allows us to spend less time maintaining and cleaning up, is that it's freed our ability to explore new things that we might even enjoy. I've always really loved learning new things, but I don't really enjoy school. And with the plethora of information available online, it can be really hard to know what is actually right and will help me get to that next level of what I'm trying to learn. I've always been drawn to seeing other people who are actually doing the thing that I want to do and do it well and show me how they did it. Our sponsor for this video is Skillshare, and I have to tell you, I've been absolutely loving what I've been learning on there. And love how the sessions just easily fit into my schedule and they don't take long at all. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators, exploring new skills, deepening existing passions, and just allows you to get lost in creativity. I'm really big into mindset, and I love this session with Yasmin Cheyenne on writing for self-discovery and gratitude. Some of the biggest change and transformation I've seen in my life has been through things like this. Also, I've really fallen in love with cinematography over the last year since we started YouTube. In this session, all about making cinematic videos with an iPhone by Caleb Babcock and Niles Gray, it's just phenomenal. Believe it or not, I use an iPhone to record all of these videos. And even some of you have mentioned wanting to learn how to edit similar to how I have in some of these videos. And to be honest, as happy as I am to have grown where I am now, you best believe I'm super excited to learn more from these amazing pros on Skillshare. And before I forget, the first 1,000 of our subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. And one of the other practical reasons why we love this look is the lack of visual clutter brings so much more peace and relaxation into our home. One thing that's really not talked a lot about when it comes to minimalism is the mental health aspect. So the reason why you would even get into minimalism sometimes can be just the anxiety and overwhelm that you feel. So we used to feel that all the time walking throughout our house, just seeing stuff all over the floor and just seeing all the kids' stuff everywhere. And we would feel overwhelmed, but we didn't realize that it was coming from the state of our home. We just thought that, you know, we were feeling a little overwhelmed today or a little stressed out, but really it was the way that our home felt and looked and all the things that were just in every corner of the house.
When I first became a stay-at-home mom, although it was what I always dreamt of doing and being, I found myself so overwhelmed thinking like, maybe I'm not cut out for this, but it was really because I was so overwhelmed with all of my stuff. And we've shared it before, but we had enough baby items for about 5 kids. And I thought I was just like that hot mess mom that everyone talks about. And I thought it was just normal. And I thought, you know, this is just how life is. But as soon as we started to declutter, as soon as I got, you know, my daughter's room to a controllable amount, I realized I wasn't really a hot mess mom. I was just overwhelmed, and I realized that all I needed to do was get rid of things and form some daily habits. And from there, I realized, okay, I can do this. It definitely helped my mental health. My anxiety really has improved over the last 4 years since starting this whole minimalism journey. And I would get triggered so easily by all of the visual clutter. Even if things were clean, still visually it was stimulating. So for me, getting rid of all of the visual clutter took away those little triggers, because all day long looking at this and looking at that, it would pile up until boom, I would have anxiety. And I didn't realize it was because of the condition of our home.
Yeah, so thankfully, as we started to declutter our home and just create more space, we also started to get rid of some of that visual clutter, and it was like the icing on the cake. It just, not seeing stuff on the walls, not having appliances and things like that left out, just allowed us to feel that space and let the, just the state of our home feel like it can breathe. And especially we have lived in small spaces since we've been married. So it's almost a necessity for us to not feel overwhelmed. We're a family of 5. We got 3 kids. Things gets, the floor gets crazy. The tables get crazy. And the last thing we need is just to have things all over the place too, visually. Even though we're minimal, that stuff has just really helped us. Just not have that visual clutter has really helped us not feel so overwhelmed all the time. Maybe the barely moved in look isn't exactly what you're into, and that's fine, because minimalism looks different for everybody, and it needs to work for you, not the other way around. But if you're interested in how we've created so much more peace in our home and family through minimalism, watch these couple of videos to see how you can do the same. Stay minimal, our friends, and we will see you in the next video.